Hi, I'm Cindi McGee. Today I'm using items from the Fairy Garden Create Along box to create a pair of earrings that I think the blue fairy will just love. This is the texture sheet that came in the Fairy Garden Create Along box, and I'm actually going to use it as a mold instead of as a texture sheet. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix in some of the mica powder that came in this month's box with some clear liquid sculpey. And then I'm going to use that to fill in some of the leaf areas in the mold. I heated the silicone texture sheet to the baking temperature on the Sculpey liquid clay bottle. And I am going to I'm just using a rubber tip tool, but I'm going to very carefully drip this mixture of mica powder and clear clay into some of these leaves. And then I'm going to bake them according to the instructions on the bottle. While the leaves were baking, I wanted to color the little wooden decorative discs that came with the box this month. And to do that, I'm using some Deco Art Dazzling Metallics, and this is Peacock Pearl. And I'm mixing it with a little bit of water just in a bottle cap because I want to create a wash for this wood, not paint it completely. And I did wash the color over both sides. Next, I rolled some light blue clay. This is Primo that I just mixed some white and some turquoise, I think, to get a light blue. And I'm using some of the floral texture tips that came in this month's box. I dipped it into the mica powder first for a release agent and then pushed it into the clay sheet. Because my clay sheet was so thin, it actually cut all the way through, which I thought was awesome. So I made actually 4 of these flowers, and on 2 of them, I just sort of pushed them up around and created flower buds, and then 2 of them I left more open and flat. I made a small hole in the center of each flower for a jump ring after they're baked. Then I decided I wanted a little more of that mica powder on them, so I just dipped them back into that mica powder and then used my finger very carefully to just press down a little bit on the front to set it in place. Went ahead and baked my flowers according to the manufacturer's instructions. So now my leaves have baked and I allowed it to cool and then I popped them out and I have these awesome little leaves. I'm really kind of happy with how these turned out. Once the flowers were cooled, I took some medium-sized silver jump rings and placed one through each of the centers of the flowers. and I cut two little small sections of chain, silver chain, which I'm going to hang my flowers, and I decided to use one leaf on each. I added a jump ring to the leaf, made a hole, and then pushed the jump ring through, and I'm making dangles beneath the earrings. At this point, I decided I wanted to add a little more bling to them, and I had these tiny little hot fix crystals that had came in one of my last create along boxes. So I'm going to use those. I'm using clear liquid Sculpey, which I'm just dabbing into the centers of the flowers, and I'm adding a few of those little hot fix crystals to the centers. I did also decide to add some to the wooden embellishments. Again, I used liquid Sculpey as the adhesive and then added those hot fix crystals. And then I baked the earrings again to set those crystals in place. After they've baked the second time and cooled, go ahead and add your French wires or whatever type of earring that you would like to use. I hope you enjoyed this project made with items from the Fairy Garden Create Along box. Remember to share your versions of these projects in our Create Along Polymer Clay Tribe Facebook page and download our new app and join our fun new interactive community.